Few days ago, the State of Devops Report 2023 edition was released. Each year, the DORA team at Google surveys professionals and organizations to analyze trends and insights in DevOps. In its 95 pages, the report shows many surprising findings like the impact of AI has had on productivity, what factors contribute to burnout, and how organizations are using the cloud. Here are the key findings of State of DevOps 2023. Right off the bat, on page 4, we get an interesting summary. Here we find a few new things the DORA team has focused on, such as the role of documentation, how underrepresented groups are more likely to burn out, the importance of focusing on user feedback and needs, and the role of the cloud in productivity and job satisfaction. Another new thing is the key outcomes page. These are goals most organizations want to achieve, such as improve productivity, job satisfaction, and reduce burnout. We have new data on how listening to the users during development leads to higher performance. But what is a user? Anyone who consumes our software is a user. It is important to note that users are not just paying customers. Users can be our colleagues. For example, if we are working at platform engineering, our customers would be the developers working on the product. Likewise, if we are writing tests, the customers in this case may be the test or the QA team. A user-centric point of view gets us a substantial increase in performance. CI/CD, job satisfaction, and productivity, while somewhat mitigating burnout. In the case of productivity, focusing on users brings a sense of fulfillment that translates into a higher job satisfaction and higher performance. So we get happier customers and more satisfied teams. Clearly, a user centric perspective yields a win win situation. New technologies call for a new set of metrics. This year, the DORA team focused on how technical capabilities like AI, trunk based development, loosely coupled architecture, CI CD, and rapid code reviews predict performance and job satisfaction. Contrary to what we could expect, AI has had little impact on team performance. Much more important were foundational capabilities such as CI/CD, quality documentation, trunk-based development, loosely coupled architecture, and code reviewed with high speed. If you remember last year's report, the DORA team removed the elite tier. They did not consider any group elite at that time, but this year the elite tier is back. This year, probably because there was a hike in productivity and quality since 2022. This year, the DORA metrics have not changed. If you remember, the metrics are these four metrics: change lead time, deployment frequency, change failure rate, and failed deployment recovery time. Next, we have some interesting data on cloud usage. The biggest take is that a flexible infrastructure increases performance across the board. Most organizations achieve this flexibility using some form of cloud. As the table shows, the type of cloud matters. Private clouds only increase operational and team performance. Public clouds, on the other hand, improve organizational and team performance while diminishing operational and service delivery performance. The report hypothesizes that this negative impact is likely the result of teams who have taken their first steps on the cloud journey and now facing a new working environment, new set of tools, and forcing them to adapt and do things differently. Another surprise for this year's report is the value of documentation. Documentation is a foundational capability. It drives and amplifies other technical capabilities. For example, when coupled with trunk based development, good documentation can improve performance by almost 13x. Here we can see the impact documentation has in amplifying each technical capability. Good documentation is not only a technical capability amplifier, it also has a big impact on the human side of development. Good documentation increases job satisfaction, productivity, and reduces the chance of burnout. For the last few years, the DORA team have been highlighting the absolute requirement of working in a generative culture. So, what is a generative culture? This is Ron Westrum, an American sociologist. He conducted several studies on how complex organizations work. In 2004, he proposed organizations can take one of three possible shapes. In essence, an organization can be pathological, bureaucratic, or generative. Of these three, only the generative culture leads to innovation, productive work, and satisfying environments. Going back to the report, the data shows that a generative culture is a strong predictor for high performance. So now that we established the importance of culture, how do we foster a good one? The report goes into great details in this part, but here are a few key points. Distributing work fairly seems like the obvious one. Unfortunately, and I quote, underrepresented groups and women or those who chose to self-describe their gender have higher levels of burnout. This happens because these groups are more likely to be stuck with repetitive work, which in turn leads to lower job satisfaction and higher chance of burnout. So, if you are in a position where you can affect work distribution, you have a chance of improving conditions by ensuring work is distributed fairly. Besides work distribution, other factors like stability, flexibility, focusing on users have enormous impact on performance and job satisfaction. All these factors contribute to a feeling of belonging that makes work more than simply a job. These are, in my opinion, the highlights of this year's report, but there's so much more I could never fit in a single video. There's a whole chapter on investing in reliability and SRE practices. The report also features a section by Dave Farley on the impact of CI/CD in software development that's worth reading. Overall, I highly recommend downloading the State of Devops 2023 and checking it out by yourself. I leave links in the description. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.